Let's get trashed. It's in the can.
Welcome to another In the Can episode of Let's Get Trashed. Talking about classic movies that have already been recorded. Obviously, everybody knows it's sweeping the nation. Our In the Can series is not contemporary. We're talking about the classics here, folks. And today, we're talking about the greatest film trilogy of all time.
Yeah.
With the third one being really bad. But the greatest film duology ever, surpassing Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back.
Even Lord of the Rings?
Even Lord of the Rings. Oh, yeah. We're talking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, baby.
1 and 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Oh, we should have got pizza for this. That's
Damn.
okay.
No, that's actually... we should have got pizza for that.
That would have been a cool idea. All right. Instead
of let's get trashed, it's let's eat pizza.
Let's eat pizza and have people watch us eat pizza.
At 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
I guess it's lunchtime. Pizza's not crazy at 11:37 on a Friday morning. Awesome. Yeah. First of all, so we're talking Ninja Turtles. We're trying to come up with we planned this kind of last minute. We're trying to come up with what are two movies we can do recording in one day. We just did our episode on the Atom Project, which will probably come out,
which we love,
before this. Who knows how many weeks before this? But we're trying to come up with something we've both seen and we can both talk about. And of course, my mind immediately goes to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise from the 90s. Because they're incredible. I mean, they're great films.
Yeah, and we do have it on in the background. I'm hoping some things will kind of like light up for me as I'm watching this because it's very nostalgic. I haven't seen these movies in a very long time, but used to watch them ad nauseum as a child.
Yeah.
Like, I loved these movies, so I was excited to...
Me too. I loved them, and then, one of my mom's favorite stories to tell about me when I talk about how much I love Ninja Turtles and how much I loved them as a kid is so for one of my birthdays, whatever year Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, whenever that one came out, my birthday party was...
Did you say Secret of the Jews? What did you say?
Secret of the Ooze.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Please continue. I was like, I don't think that's what it's called.
It's certainly not what it's called.
Okay, sorry.
And we don't support that kind of talk.
No, definitely not. I was going to check you on that.
Yeah, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they uncover the protocols of the Elders of Zion, just anti-Semitic pamphlets. That's what the ninjas are uncovering.
That would be an insane plot.
I know, that would be wild. That'd be like it's like a Kevin Sorbo movie.
Yeah, dude.
Like nowadays.
Now I'm just thinking about that. Sorry, we should move on.
No, that's certainly not what part 2 is called. But anyway, I had my birthday party seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. And my mom tells the story of me literally standing on the chair in the theater, pointing at the screen and laughing so hard, belly laughing.
You're just getting torn apart with laughter.
Yeah.
You're just enjoying it so much.
Yeah, I'm 4 or 5. I think it came out in 1993, the second one. So I'm 4 years old. I'm standing on the screen just howling, laughing at how funny this movie is.
That's really funny, actually.
Yeah. So that's all the credibility you need from me, folks, as far as what I'm bringing to the table, being a Ninja Turtles fan. So.
Oh God, it's so funny. It really is so. They're so animated.
Well, except the fact is, they're not animated.
It's all practical.
They're wearing costumes.
Yeah,
they're wearing very hot costumes. They're moving their mouth. They're being funny. It looks great. Mm-hmm. It looks better. They've made Ninja Turtle stuff since then. I haven't really watched any of it, but I've seen the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie, which was all CGI.
Yeah,
looks terrible. And this looks great. These guys are in rubber costumes. They're dancing around to the song Tequila.
They're so goofy.
After their first successful, fight. And then it's so good.
Skateboards and pizza, dude. I mean, it's just so fucking cool.
Cowabunga.
And karate. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
It's the coolest shit.
Yeah, it's awesome. They're so good. I mean, so we'll talk about what's going on in New York at this time. There's a crime wave. That's how the first movie starts.
Okay.
There's a crime wave. Trucks are getting robbed. You know, a guy stops to do a delivery. He takes one box of things to the place, leaves his truck open. By the time he gets back, the entire truck is empty. This crime wave is crazy.
It's getting out of control.
It's like there's ninjas afoot taking everything out. Everything's getting
fucking
stolen.
Ninjas stole my shit.
Warehouses full of contraband being processed by, soldiers in this gang. The city is an unsafe place to be. A single woman, a reporter,
yes,
leaves the news station after the 10 o'clock news. So it's late at night. She's walking to her car, which is close by. It's in the parking lot.
It really is close by.
She gets attacked. Women are getting attacked in.
She got tackled.
1990s New York. This is pre-Giuliani, folks. This town is a fucking nightmare. There's no M&M stores in Times Square yet. All right.
Nope.
This is still bad. This is almost
just
like
ninjas tackling women.
Yeah, this is still like the 70s. And thank God for vigilante teenage Ninja Turtle mutant justice, because they're the ones saving us. They save this woman, this reporter. They save April O'Neil from getting from getting assaulted, or they prevent it. They prevent the assault from getting out of hand. I guess I don't know how you want to think of it, but they save her. And they're ecstatic about their successful first mission, and except for Raphael, who loses one of his instruments. He loses a sai, which is a little 3-pronged fork.
Yeah.
He loses one of his, and he's upset.
Is that the most bitch of the weapons?
No, and I've fought this battle for years. So we'll get to in a second.
I have questions for you.
We'll get to who's your Ninja Turtle.
Okay.
And but yes and no to your question. Is the sai the bitchiest of the 4 tools?
There's just a lot of pageantry with it.
Well, except because he's a teenage cartoon character, he's not allowed to stab somebody through the heart with a sharpened trident. Yeah.
A pocket trident.
Believe me, if I'm walking around with a pair of sai, if I'm a vigilante on the loose with a pair of sai, there's going to be 6 holes in every motherfucker looking at me wrong.
Yeah, dude. Right through the chest.
I'm going.
He's so on it.
Yeah, I'm going off on people. I'm using those sai exactly how you're supposed to, which is
stabby.
I'm
mode.
Puncturing tracheas with this shit.
Yeah, right through the side.
He's a teenage cartoon character, so he's not allowed. He has to be very defensive or whatever. I'm not even sure what the hell he's using the sai for. But I mean, the same criticism can be levied against the katana, because that's Leonardo's weapon. Yeah. The leader's weapon is the katana.
Sure.
This is not Kill Bill. He's not samurai swording fucking heads off. He's got a pair of them. Even
that's true.
Uma Thurman
does have 2.
Uma Thurman gets 1 samurai sword and has to practice her whole life. Teenage Leonardo is double twirling 2 samurai swords.
That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, but again, it's a movie for kids, or for teen. It's a young people's movie. There's no blood. He's not cutting people's heads off like he should be. They have to blunt it to make it acceptable for kids. And then of course the nunchucks and the bow staff, the stick, Michelangelo and Donatello, respectively. Those are blunt objects. You can just hit people and it's funny.
Yep.
A lot of taking the big stick and bopping somebody on the head. That happens a lot.
Yep.
And then of course Casey Jones,
cool as fuck.
The 5th member. He walks around. He's got a baseball. He's got a baseball bat and some cricket bats. and he's also hitting people blunt force objects.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Casey Jones rules.
Yeah, he's great. But they can't show the bloodshed. But again, you give me a pair of katana or a pair of sai, Austin looks different.
But it's
all right.
Austin looks red.
This town, this town is, I'm changing the landscape of the city.
Dude, it would be weird to see that. For some reason, I was like, why do we have gun shootings when they could just have Psy shooting so dark? Sorry, I said that, but I mean, there's just cooler weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
so dark.
Well, it's typical American consumerism. We're just trying to get,
quick and easy.
It's just too much consumption.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's why all of our, we have mass shooters that are just going ham and killing killing so many people in these disgusting acts. No, it's not about it's quantity over quality, just like everything in this country.
Yeah, and that's what really pisses me off about it.
Yeah, that's definitely the worst. That's definitely the worst part about it.
Yeah, that's it's just. It's just not good.
Yeah, we need some more fair trade shootings.
I mean, I just think if we didn't have, I think of a world where we didn't have guns and we all had to do martial arts and choose a funny weapon. Would that be a cooler place to be? And would people be talking as much shit? I think not.
Yeah, I get. I mean, that's the other thing is you'll definitely see it coming. There's a lot less innocent.
You'll see it coming.
Yeah, there's a lot less innocent bystanders in a karate tournament.
They're like, someone's walking in with a sword.
Yeah,
not good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a sword on the back, you immediately know.
I know you have a sword.
This guy's a problem.
This guy's he's being aggressive.
And even in Texas, there's nobody going to be like, because if you walk into anywhere with a fucking gun on your hip in Texas, they're going to be like, that's right. We spent millions of dollars lobbying for open carry,
so we could do this.
Because I want strangers walking around with guns on their thighs like fucking Han Solo.
Yeah.
I want that in Texas, but
wearing tactical boots.
Yeah, but
everything's tactical.
Those are our rights.
Yeah.
We have to fight for our right to have just exposed guns.
Yeah. Exposed guns. Yeah.
Just
exposed
open
weaponry.
Carry. We can't even, so much to the point where we can't even determine if somebody with a gun, there's no way to even tell if it's a problem until it's too late. That's the right we're
That's what I'm
for.
saying. We gotta do weaponry instead.
Yeah.
We gotta go back.
So, but a sword, even the most hardline NRA supporter sees a guy walking in with a pair of samurai swords sticking out of his back like an X.
Yeah.
Even he's gonna be like, this guy's a problem.
Maybe we don't have those.
Yeah. It's like, I better keep my gun handy.
Yeah. Shoot some.
Yeah, that is another thing. Again, this is 1990s New York. If they make the joke, Raphael's chasing after Casey Jones and he does a spinning flip over the hood of a car.
Love that. Yeah.
And then of course it's New York, so the cool New York cab driver, the passenger is freaking out. What was that? And Mr. Cool, seen it all New York cab driver is like, a giant turtle in a trench coat. You going to LaGuardia or what? Like,
yeah.
He does.
It's New York.
Yeah, come on, it's New York here. What are you worried about?
Yeah.
So in the 90s, I'm sure a guy in the giant 6-foot turtle would have gotten shot, but who knows? So that's what we got. We got this crime wave. We got our 4 turtles trying to stop it because we got the Foot Clan, our evil ninja samurais. They're behind it, and then our good ninjas, the turtles, they've got to get to the bottom of it and stop it.
Yeah.
So we've already talked about our 4 turtles. We talked about their weapons. Let's get into some personality, and and once we talk about personality, let's figure out which turtle are you?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I've had this answer ready forever.
You're locked and loaded.
Oh, I've spent my entire.
Go for it.
I don't believe in psychological profiles.
Yeah.
Any of this like
I'm such a Hermione.
yeah,
like Harry
I don't
Potter.
I don't believe in type A, type B. I don't believe in INJT or
Yeah, Enneagram.
TGIF, whatever the fuck that.
Yeah,
whatever
astrology.
all that. I don't believe in
Yeah.
astrology.
Fuck that.
But I do believe in what turtle are you?
What turtle are you?
That's the
You
only.
fuck.
That's the only psychological test that I give any credence to. Is which Ninja Turtle are you?
Does it extend into? It has to be a turtle, or again, is it the cast of Ninja Turtles? Is it Casey Jones? Is an April involved?
Well-
Is a Raphael involved?
Well, every woman is April O'Neil.
Every
You don't get women.
and their ex-boyfriend is Casey Jones.
Girls don't get to participate in this.
It's a one-stop shop
in this in my psychological evaluations.
in your 4-year-old brain.
Psychology comes from the 1800s when
Yeah.
we Freud we're dismissing
Yeah,
we're dismissing women.
That makes sense.
If you're a girl, you're automatically April O'Neil. figuring out what kind of turtle
Needing
you
to be
are.
saved.
Yeah, figuring out what turtle you are. That's just for the fellas.
Yeah, it's for the boys.
Yeah.
It's all we got left. It's
Yeah.
all we got left.
So there's a lot of right now. Raphael's fighting the Foot Clan.
Yeah,
A lot of kicks, a lot of hits.
He's on his lonesome in a trench coat and a fedora.
Yeah, he went to get his missing
looking
side.
like a psycho.
He didn't stab any of those guys. So a lot of kicking them. But anyway,
It's so funny, dude. This movie, bro.
yeah.
It's so funny.
So we'll start with Raphael.
Go for it.
We have Raphael, the
Yep.
angry one.
Yep.
Red eye covering thing, red belt, whatever.
Yeah.
He's angry.
He's not fucking around.
He's got temper problems. He's the lone wolf.
Mhm.
We've got Leonardo.
Yep.
Blue. He's the leader. He's the responsible one. He's the one with the weight on his shoulders. We've got Donatello. Oh, yeah, Leonardo has the sword. The swords.
Katana.
Leonardo has the most dangerous weapon. This
Yep.
is also a theory that's been posited. Leonardo has the most dangerous weapon because he's the most responsible one. That's why he
I
gets
like that.
That's why he gets a pair of swords.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why he gets a grenade. Just imagine
Just
he-
walk
just one
around-
grenade.
walk around with one
grenade
like
turtle.
like Steve Carell in the
Yeah,
the Anchorman.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Anchorman fight. He's just walking around with a live
What
grenade.
do I do with it? Sorry. There's
Um,
no range fighters, which is to me tactically
it's
not
all-
sound.
it-
but
yeah, it's all getting. Yeah, you're right. It's all getting in close.
yeah, that's fine.
Then there's Donatello, the smart one.
Mhm.
He's
Oh,
the
science.
He's the genius group.
Yep.
He's wearing purple. He's got the staff.
The tech guy.
He's got the staff that's it's the oldest weapon, and it's the one you have to be most creative with, I guess. And then so he's the smart one, and then there's the funny one, Michelangelo, wearing orange, He's
using
got
the
nunchucks.
funniest weapon
Yeah,
ever made.
right. That you can do the silliest stuff with. What you can twirl it.
Nunchucks.
Yeah, it's very fidget spinnery.
Yeah. It's
And
just kind of
yeah.
You
you can do a lot of silly stuff with him. he's the funny wisecracking one.
Yeah.
The silly guy. So those are our 4 turtles. Which one are you?
That's so difficult, man. I feel like how deep can I get into this?
Do whatever you want, man. This is Let's Get Trashed.
All right.
This is Let's Get Trashed Psychology Corner. All right.
I mean, I feel like most of the time, I think I'm a mix between a Leo and Mikey, dude. Because I think I have.
You see yourself as a leader, but you're also funny and relatable.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that how you see
I
yourself?
think I'm all of them at once. Yeah, I think I'm just the perfect turtle.
Yeah. Exactly. No. I'm a respected leader
I mean-
who's really smart and funny. And
So cock.
Which turtle has the biggest dick? I'm that one too.
That's one. One.
I'm definitely that one.
I'm all of them. Actually, I think it depends on my mood. But okay, so sorry, I'm taking this too seriously for some reason. This is important, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's as important as anything else I do.
I think if I have to, this is the most important thing of my day.
Yeah. Believe me, it's all downhill from here.
I think I might go, if I had to choose one, maybe I go Leo. Maybe.
Okay. You see yourself as a leader of men.
Yeah.
You're responsibly wielding.
I see myself as an ambitious person. That's
Okay.
why I'm choosing it. That's not because of the leadership thing. I'm like,
Okay.
I feel like pretty ambitious. Like, I feel like I like to get shit done. Like, maybe he's the most version of that.
You're in stay on task,
Yes.
stay on target type of dude.
Yes. I
All
think
right.
I'm that way mostly. I feel like I'm pretty aloof sometimes.
Okay.
And that's fun too.
Aloof is more of a Raphael quality.
Really? Okay.
Raphael's off by himself fighting.
That's true.
He's the one brother.
Yeah.
That's
so
separate.
fucking funny.
The other three at the beginning are hanging out. They're dancing to tequila and enjoying themselves. He's
Yeah.
off by himself sulking. He's aloof. That's
I
why
guess I meant goofy.
That's why we've seen of the 3 fight scenes, Raphael's been in all 3 of them. He's off by himself causing
That's
problems.
true, man.
Yeah, aloof
Fuck.
is.
There's so much. This is a hard question.
I understand.
I want to hear your answer.
I'm Raphael.
Okay.
I've got the anger problems. I'm aloof.
I could tag you as a Raphael immediately. I figured you would say that.
I'm funny, but I'm not funny in an endearing Michelangelo way.
You're funny because you're angry?
I'm funny in a mean Raphael way.
So true. Yeah.
My funny doesn't bring people together.
Uh-huh.
My funny makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But it's not
for you.
Everything. It's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Raphael for sure.
Dude, we got to get like a Ninja Turtle gang together.
We should have done the 4-person episode, but so let's think about Clarence Riley, the 4th.
What would Clarence? We got to ask him what he identifies with.
We'd have to ask him. If I had to guess, because I've known my buddy Clarence for a long 15 years.
Are we gonna have a Ninja Turtle night where we just go out and
doggy
and we method act our characters?
Oh, you would go out and actually just do it? I mean, sure. We can
so
go out,
funny.
We can go out and cause ninja problems around Austin.
I would love that.
I thought you meant like hang out and watch the movies.
Well, we could do that too. We could do that for inspo, and then we go out on the town, and we basically method our characters, which we wouldn't have to do too much.
Halloween's coming up. It's August. We got a month and a half until Halloween. We can put a foursome together, and
I got to get some katanas.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about Leonardo is he's too. I think he's too sad boy sometimes, or too like, oh, the responsibility. You know.
I don't know. What I love about these movies is that it's not too much.
Yeah.
Leonardo, he's still. I mean, they're all funny.
That's true.
That's the thing. And they all have a sense of humor, but it's just. But even right now, April's in there mixing it up, laughing with him, getting along famously. So yeah, Leonardo's the one that said we got to leave, we got to get out of here, and Michelangelo's like he worries. He's the responsible one. We could leave at a decent hour.
We can't get drunk with you, April.
Yeah, we're teenagers.
How
are you even asking? You're an adult
I
woman.
would never say that. Fuck, man. Maybe I do. I think in a social setting, maybe I am more of a Mikey. Yeah, damn. This is a difficult question.
It's a difficult one.
I'm definitely not
I would love
a Donatello. Definitely fucking not.
I would love to be a Michelangelo.
Right?
That's
the fun one.
If I could remake my personality into something I found more endearing, I would make myself into a Michelangelo. I want to be funny and be loved.
Yes.
And I want, but that's just not me. I've got too much. See, right now the camera is spinning around Raphael. He's shouting into the void. He's holding his weapons up. He's
so angsty.
He's got anger problems.
You know what I appreciate about these movies is all the turtles look different.
They look different, and even right
for
now,
their character.
Look at their eyes. Look at their expression. So right now,
they're expressive.
Splinter, their guardian, they got home and he's been kidnapped.
Yep.
So they go back to the safety of April O'Neil's apartment, and she opens the door, not expecting to see them so soon. They just left.
Yeah.
They're back, and they have the puppetry or the costuming work.
What the fuck is going on?
You can see their eyes and their facial expressions. They look great. They look distraught.
Do you know anything about like the practical way that these costumes were handled, or the actors, or
yeah, the actors are in these hot ass rubber costumes. They're sweating. They're dying in there.
Yeah,
it's very uncomfortable.
Jeez, that sucks.
And then one of the Coreys is in this. Is in this
Fieldman.
Yeah, either Corey Feldman or Corey Haim. I can't remember which one.
Okay.
I think
he's a turtle, or
yeah, he's one of the turtles.
no way.
Absolutely. Let's see. Let's see who are four. So, well, he might not be in the costume. Yeah, Corey Feldman is Donatello. So it's Corey Feldman.
He's playing Donatello.
He's the which I don't know if he's in it or if
he's the voice
or if he's
of-
just the voice.
Ah.
So I think the cast, they actually have like karate guys in the suits.
That makes sense.
They have like martial artists. For example, David Foreman, he plays Leonardo and he plays a gang member, but the voice of Leonardo is Brian Tochi. And
Is
then,
that, do I know who that is?
no, you don't know who that is.
Okay.
I don't either. So yeah, they've got actual karate guys. They've got martial artists, stunt guys in the costumes, and then the voices are all overdubbed.
That makes total sense because someone's obviously controlling the face with something.
Yeah, there's all kinds. There's all kinds. Of
How are they
something going on.
controlling the? You know,
I don't really know.
I mean, I'm sure it's not that complicated. It's just, it's not bad, is what I'm saying. It's like it works for the movie. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's just because I was a kid when I was seeing it, but
Well, and
even watching it now, it's like, oh, they have expressions, they have different faces. Like, it's kind of cool. I kind of dig it.
they're great.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great subplots too. Right now we're seeing the subplot. So April O'Neil, she's an investigative reporter.
Yeah.
Back when she's the last good journalist. After April O'Neil, that's when journalism changed. Broadcast news. Broadcast news. April O'Neil is Holly Hunter in broadcast news.
Sure.
She's the last journalist with integrity. Anyway, her boss.
Kid is smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
In this movie.
Yeah. There's a
There's
teenage.
a 12-year-old, I would say.
Yeah, teenagers. They're at an arcade and they're smoking cigars.
This is fucking awesome.
This is where all the troubled kids that got brought into the gang. This is where they're hanging out.
I mean, I would hang out there, dude.
For sure.
They're playing music and bass guitars and gambling in arcades.
They've got a roulette wheel.
They're doing skateboardings.
Yeah, this is
cigarettes and cigars.
It's-
Pizza. This place rules.
from Pinocchio.
Yeah.
All the donkeys smoking cigars.
Uh-huh.
That's what this is.
Yep.
That's what this scene is right now. And we're getting our little
That
tour
would be,
of it.
Yeah, I would be there.
They're smoking cigarettes.
The menthol cigarettes. Literally packs of He just threw a carton at this kid and he was like, here's some cigarettes.
Cartons of cigarettes. Kids are playing adult card games.
Gambling, dude.
Gambling. 9-year-olds are gambling.
Pepsi. Racks and racks of Pepsi, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then
Oh, there we go. Here's the serious guy.
The evil main henchman.
We've got to do some karate now.
He's keeping an eye on all these kids who are going to be his eventual soldiers.
That was a replay. They already played that scene. That's fine though.
Oh, the skateboarding
one. Yeah.
They reused a couple scenes. Here's the fight club.
Oh yeah, they have an underground fight club with these children.
Yeah, we get to see these
They're
kids
just
learn how to fight.
Just railed a case of Pepsi and cigarettes, and they're like, "Let's do some karate."
Yeah. So anyway, sorry. The subplot I wanted to get to, but that's one of the
Go
problems
for
with
it.
watching the show is that it distracts us a little bit. Subplot I wanted to get to was April O'Neil's. She's investigating the crime wave, and she's investigating the why the police are ineptly responding to it.
Yep.
The police pick up her boss's son Danny is being groomed to be a criminal by the Foot Clan. He gets arrested. Police chief calls up the head of the news agency, like, I got your son. I want you. I'll let your son out of jail, but you got to fucking lay off me.
Yep.
So now the boss is telling April O'Neil, back off. Don't be a good investigative reporter. Back off.
Yep.
Again, that's the kind of thing that happened. That's a more adult scenario than you expect to see in a movie like this.
Sure.
Real stakes. It's kind of realistic in a sense. How much of all of our news is compromised now, but how much of our news is compromised by relationships to people in power.
Sure.
It's why our news people. It's why when there's a Democrat in the office, MSNBC never asks them any hard questions. They only softball them, and then when there's a Republican in the office, Fox is only softballing questions.
Of course.
You just can't you can't trust any of it because nobody's got any like journalistic integrity. They're all trying to preserve their relationship in power. They're trying to do something for themselves, and that's exactly what's happening in this movie with the head of the news agency being like, April, lay off. All right, my son's going to go to jail if you keep asking journalism questions like you're supposed to.
Don't be a journalist.
Yeah, if you keep doing your job, my son,
ruin me.
My son, the criminal, is going to go to juvenile hall or juvenile delinquency or whatever, juvie jail. My son's going to face the consequences he deserves if you do your job correctly. So you got to stop.
Don't do your job.
Yeah. So it's just, again, that's a more apropos theme.
Sure.
Certainly to the times, but also, I don't know. I don't watch a ton of kids stuff, but they're
usually not smoking cigarettes.
They're not doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, but that's the other thing is cigarettes are gone in movies.
In movies?
Oh,
yeah, dude.
You can't find...
imagine this.
Yeah, imagine
a child throwing a carton of cigarettes to another child.
It would never happen.
Yeah. I mean, the opening shot of that was a kid smoking a full-on cigar.
Yeah.
Like
a stogie.
Yeah. Full cigar.
Like he's fucking James Cagney. Like, yeah.
And it was like
or
half
Edward
gone.
G. Robinson. Yeah.
It wasn't like just lit. He was like, this shit rules.
Yeah, he loves it. So it's, it presents a darker movie than it would seem on the surface.
Yeah.
You think it's a movie, the world that these 4 teenage funny turtles live in is not cool.
Yeah.
There are like bright light. Everything else is pretty bad. So it's just a darker tone. It's a more kind of adult tone than I at least the surrounding that I think we get from a lot of media nowadays. Not a lot. Obviously, there's
stakes.
Not a lot of media. Obviously, there's movies where shit is dark, but I just mean the kind of movie. I guess is this aimed towards kids? I don't even. What is this even rated?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, ratings were I feel like a little bit more arbitrary than
it's PG.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah,
this would not be PG now. Yeah.
No, kids.
Yeah, the scale has changed.
Yeah,
for sure.
A kid holding a cigarette is R. Nowadays. You kidding me?
Yeah. Absolutely.
A child smoking a cigar, that's immediately hard
No,
R.
that's an R, bruh.
Yeah.
Because,
Tits and the F word is PG-13.
Yeah.
But, a
cigarette cartons.
Yeah. A kid disobeying his mom and smoking a cigarette, that's like hard R.
Hard R, dude.
Yeah. They would NC-17 at this if they could nowadays. They just,
they got lucky.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we just see this thing of like delinquency in boys and all these young people getting swept into this like life of crime. Again, we don't see. It's not like the kids or whatever. We don't see like sex, which would be happening in this warehouse, this hedonistic warehouse full of video games and skateboards and cigarettes and alcohol,
bass guitars.
There would be teenagers like having sex in real life.
Yeah,
and being unsafe in plenty of different ways. But obviously they don't show that. But it's still a bad environment for these kids to be in. Which,
I mean, and also the Fight Club.
Yeah, which brings me to another criticism, or not another reference. But so the third Christopher Nolan Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes,
with Bane. Tom Hardy is Bane. Marion or Marina Cotillard as Talia al Ghul.
Sure, yeah.
So, and what's his name? 500 Days of Summer. Who plays the young police officer in
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
So, in that movie, and this has always been, I have a lot of complaints about The Dark Knight Rises as far as plot-wise and stuff that doesn't make sense. But one thing they try to make happen in that movie is, so Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a former orphan. He goes back to his orphanage because he's trying to get word on the street. He knows these orphans are sometimes involved in some bad stuff. He's trying to figure out.
Sure.
He's trying to figure out where are these guys? Where are these kids going? Where's this kind of crime coming from?
Where these orphans at?
Yeah. So he's talking to some of the younger orphans. He's like, where's your older brother? Where are all the older kids? He's like, they left the orphanage. They went down into the sewers because they found work down there. And
What?
Then later on, as we watch the movie, as we watch Dark Knight Rises, 2011, 2012, whenever it was, 2012, I think, we see the work that they find, quote unquote, is they're down there being part of Bane's gang, but they're part of his cult, and Bane is making them like kill themselves. You know, you have to accept sacrifice and part of the thing, and it doesn't really make any sense because I don't see anything to justify or to like explain why these kids are drawn to this life.
Yes.
They just join. You know, if Bane was like paying them, or if there was any like material offering, that would make sense. But for some reason, they're going into the sewers looking for what the kid says is work. We're told that they're looking for work, but then when we see them actually down there, they've all joined this vengeance cult against the hedonism of Gotham City. So
work to cult.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense. I don't see that. If I'm an orphan and I was like, oh shit, I can make some money down in the sewers. Then I get down there and the head of the gang is like, you have to worship me and follow my dogma.
Actually, it's a cult.
I'm gonna be like, oh no, this is not. I'm not
paying me.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care about your thoughts. I'm not trying to join your terrorist organization. I don't.
Yeah. What
share
if I
your
have
beliefs.
an interesting voice? Yeah. Does that change your mind? Yeah.
What if I sound like Sean Connery?
Yeah. But muffled.
Muffled Sean Connery. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Terrible. But anyway, it just that point doesn't make any sense. There's actually nothing that the movie doesn't give us anything to like. This does a much better job. I instantly see why troubled youth are drawn to this organization.
Sure. Because it's sick as fuck.
Yeah, because it fucking rules. I'm not even a troubled youth. I'm a troubled, almost middle-aged man.
I would hang
and I'm
out
watching
there,
them.
Like, where is that?
Yeah, they're playing fucking Time Crisis and Roulette. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Let's rock.
I would get rid of. I would throw away every responsibility I currently have as an adult man to go do this.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. That looks awesome, dude.
I've never put 2 feet on a skateboard in my life, but I can't wait to go down that ramp.
Put me on the elevated ramp that's stories above where the arcade games are to fall on someone.
If I fall off this ramp, I'm
fucked.
hitting a child with a cigar in his mouth.
2 kids died today again.
Yeah, I'm getting cigar burn on my back because I fell off a skateboard catwalk. onto a kid's head. So, but anyway,
that's
again,
just the way we operate here.
This movie, like I said, this movie does a better job of like that.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing these kids fight, and now this kid has to fight the main leader. He gets fucking kicked in the face, which I don't know why he would. They're teaching him to not be They're teaching him to not be honorable fighters.
Yeah.
Oh, his name is Master Tatsu. I didn't even know that. That's Tatsu's the ramen Tatsuya here in Austin. One of them's name is Tatsu, and the other guy's name is Jinya or whatever.
Okay.
And they combine it to Tatsuya.
Oh, that's so
anyway,
sick.
This guy's name, the bad guy's name is Master Tatsu.
Shout out Ramatetsuya.
And here comes fucking Shredder.
Yeah, Shredder rules, dude.
This is our first.
I love Shredder.
This is our first view of the bad guy
as a villain.
We've seen him in shadows a little bit before, but now we get to see him.
Cool cape, very cool cape.
Yeah, a little shiny.
It is kind of glittery.
Yeah, it's a little shiny. It looks kind of like plastic baggy. Almost. It looks like a black
like a plastic trash.
It looks
bag.
like a black plastic trash bag.
It's kind of got zebra mode on it.
I've never noticed that. It is kind of zebra-y.
Yeah, I think that's what gives him his shine. Because he's kind of a metal guy, you know. He's got this metal shit going down.
He's got the metal Darth Vader helmet.
It really is kind of Darth Vader, but were the comics before Star Wars?
The comics? No, probably not. Star Wars is 77.
It is kind of Darth Vader-esque. I like the sword on top of the helmet.
Yeah, the sharp thing. That's pretty cool.
Kind of got a Mortal Kombat face mask, ninja face mask thing going.
Yeah, that's right. Very Scorpion and
metal
Sub-Zero.
Basically metal Scorpion.
Yeah, he's got a Sub-Zero thing, and now they're taken the cape over his shoulders to
Very carefully
expose more sharpness.
And then there's more sharp metals.
And you know what? Here's what the great thing about this scene: Master Tatsu, the guy that we've seen as he's been
the
our
lieutenant.
he's been our lieutenant. He's been our visual representation of this organization up until now.
Yep.
As soon as the main bad guy shows up with his fucking helmet and all kinds of stuff, we see Tatsu be the one who has to delicately move his cape over his shoulders.
Yeah.
Which immediately just establishes it's a small filmmaking thing, a small storytelling thing.
That's true.
It immediately establishes Tatsu
As a subordinate
as subordinate to. So we thought
actual guy.
We thought he was the main guy until right now.
Very cool.
And now we immediately know this is the main.
I like
guy.
that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
It's a little
it gives
detail.
depth to the organization, kind of. Yeah.
That old storytelling adage of show don't tell.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going up to him again. A Marvel movie would be like, "Hey, boss, who's in charge of me? What do you?
You're the leader.
What do you need me to do, Chief?
Yeah,
Mr. Chief in charge guy." And it would be like, "I need you to shut up. Whatever you say, Buccarino.
Let's be witty."
Yeah, it would become like that, and instead, it's just he just demurely does his duty of like adjusting the boss's costume, and it's just it's a 2-second storytelling thing that immediately lets us know fucking hierarchy.
Incredible.
So that's the kind of thing that I don't see in kids movies anymore.
Always a little ruffians, dude.
Yeah, or PG stuff. So we're back. Anyway.
Oh, I would imagine because the Ninja Turtles are kind of short in this film.
I mean, yeah,
like scale wise to like April, even like.
Yeah, they're all small.
I was wondering, like, when I was asking about the costumes, I was like, are any of these like children or like smaller people or?
Yes, they're all. So the people inside the costumes are all.
Yeah, they're all stunt people.
They're all martial art stunt actors. I think they're all, and don't take this the wrong way. I think they're all Asian men proficient in martial arts,
sure.
Which is why we chose them for these roles.
Gotcha.
I think they fit the shorter stature of the costume.
Yeah.
And again, they probably casted for that.
Sure.
You can certainly find a tall kung fu artist who's a master and able, but I think they might have disqualified those candidates from.
Yeah, they're like, here's the height that we need.
Yeah.
We need a stunt double that can use nunchucks.
It's casting.
Yeah, it's casting.
It's casting. We need somebody this this tall, who can perform these actions and survive in this hot ass costume we're going to give you. So anyway, let's talk about. We're not at this scene. We're not going to walk through the whole movie, but let's talk about a couple of things. My favorite part of this movie, something that I really love, is the after the big fight. There's a big fight coming up, and then wherein Casey Jones joins them. He sees them fighting. He joins and helps out. Because even though him and Raphael fought earlier, they feel like he kind of has a bond with this guy now.
Sure.
And then so they get into a big fight. There's a big fire. They get ambushed by the bad guys. They all retreat. Raphael's injured. They all retreat to the house. So Casey Jones has an abandoned house out in New Hampshire. Whatever.
Sure.
They retreat there for a few weeks. Raphael has to heal. While he's healing, his brothers, or especially his brother Leonardo, they have the most conflict, but Leonardo's the one that's most hurt by his brother being injured. There's this down interlude that takes place in the country, and there's all this emotion behind it, and then there's all this
Raphael being Raphael.
Yeah, I mean, there's all this emotion in this interlude in the country. And then there's all this. It's just a what am I trying to fucking say? Sorry, having it on is like
Charged.
distracting. No, not even it's just this. It's a very tranquil down part of the movie.
Yeah.
But it sets us up for them. They do some training. They kind of get their wheels back underneath them, and then they go back into the city to finish the fight and save Shredder or save Splinter, their guardian.
Splinter, yeah, because he was kidnapped. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So it's
Splinter is wet as fuck.
I love that. I love that forest interlude of this movie. It's one of my favorite parts of this whole series.
I don't remember it off of memory, but
it's great. Yeah, well, when you rewatch it, you'll see it.
Yeah, I need to rewatch this.
I love that part more than anything. And then, of course, they beat the bad guy. We find out, all kinds of stuff. And then the bad guy gets thrown into a trash compactor at the end, which is sick.
That was one of the first. I remember that scene vividly when at the end where they trash compactor him, but then his hand like comes up.
Well, so he gets taken to the to the dump.
Mm.
He gets taken to a landfill, and that's the last thing you see is the hand coming out of the trash.
And you're like, that might have been the first time in a movie where I had seen something like that. There was like, there's more.
Yeah, that's a hell of a cliffhanger.
That moment of like, what?
Hell of a cliffhanger that lets us know about. Lets us know that there's a sequel coming.
Yeah.
And then, so let's talk about the sequel a little bit. Because this movie does a brief recap of, like, how did they get like this. But the sequel is where we get to the secret of the ooze. That's where we figure out where this ooze came from. How did it make us like this? And then we get some identity questions. Because once they start figuring it out and stuff like that.
Where did we come from? What are
we?
Well,
and then, Donatello, the smart one, he starts to get down because they find out he's like, is that all I am? I'm just a collection of chemicals.
Science ooze?
Yeah, I'm chemicals that got onto a regular turtle and now I'm this. Like, I didn't have any agency in my own creation or upbringing. How is it that I became like this? So it tackles some identity questions like that. Like, what are we? Again, it doesn't go too deep. It's certainly not, The Fly. Or
there's some. There's some depth there.
Yeah, it's not Kafka's Metamorphosis, but it is it's a theme that I don't see in movies geared towards this age group nowadays.
Oh, definitely not.
Of kind of like, what am I? Other than more shallow, again, like Pixar, and there's more shallow representations of it, and it's always kind of a happy ending. Whereas I think in the second movie, when he struggles with these questions, the point they get to is like, hey, it is what it is.
Yep.
There's not a happy ending unless you make it. You just have to. You make the best of what you are.
Yes.
This is how you got here, and maybe it's not your ideal like version of yourself. But it is what it is, and now you make which is an adult way of handling your problems, or at least confronting them.
Yeah,
because there's not going to be a fairy tale beginning or end to any of our stories. So that's kind of what I like about even the second one, and then the second one has one of my favorite, funniest jokes in all of cinema. Really, like, it's one of my favorite jokes ever. And it's very vaudevillian and kind of cheesy, but so in the second one, Raphael, who once again was off on his own, doing awesome angry shit, he gets kidnapped. So now his three brothers, he gets kidnapped and he's being held hostage in the junkyard.
Yeah.
And his three brothers have to save him. So they're walking around. They go up again, comedy rule of threes.
Uh-huh.
The first thing they encounter, a pair of guards, and then they do a little fake out, tap the thing, make them look behind them, take out both of them instantly, drag them away. One of them, Donatello goes, that was easy, and Leonardo goes, a little too easy. And then they're walking around the first corner. There's nobody around. Leonardo goes, it's quiet. Donatello goes, a little too quiet. And then the last time they walk around the next corner, and then they see Raphael up against tied to a stake, tied up in the middle of a courtyard, and Leonardo goes, look, it's Raph. And Michelangelo goes, a little too rap.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It's just
They're just goofy.
It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
jokes ever
A
in
little
any
too rap.
movie. It's so funny.
A great blend of like dialogue between all of them too.
Well, it
About
just
yeah.
the funny brother not
brings it home.
not taking it as seriously and just playing off what they've been doing, playing against that cliche of like a little too quiet, which is a cliche line that's been in a million movies or books or stories or whatever. So I just love that joke from the second one. And then of course the second one has the famous Vanilla Ice appearance. For some reason, this junkyard is next door to this again mid-90s. It's next door.
Vanilla Ice's house.
Well, no, it's next door to a rave. Like it's a warehouse party.
Yeah.
Which used to happen until that big warehouse party burned down in San Francisco a few years ago.
Geez.
You remember that?
No, I don't.
That was a big news story. There was,
damn.
but anyway, yeah, it's like a warehouse rave party.
Okay.
That for some reason, in 1993, Vanilla Ice is the headlining act.
Tight.
So, and it's right next to a junkyard. So they're fighting the bad guys in the junkyard, which are more genetically mutated animals, and these are not like talking. These are like crazy guys.
Maybe I haven't. I almost like don't remember a lot of this. I wonder if I ever saw the second one. Because are Bebop and Rocksteady did they come in?
No, Bebop and Rocksteady are not in any of the films.
That's kind of weird, right?
Well, in the second one, we get a
mutated creature thing. I'm trying to remember.
Simulacrum of them. We get Tokar and Razor.
Okay.
So there's a snapping turtle.
Oh, I do remember that. I remember
he's a
that.
7-foot snapping turtle.
Yes.
And then the other one is like a wolf or something
Uh-huh.
that becomes a 7-foot wolf standing on its hind legs and punching.
Mm.
Those are the two like mutant bad guys that the Foot Clan creates.
Yes.
To combat our Ninja Turtle heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been given so much ooze, and a snapping turtle is more aggressive than a cute turtle. So that's why we have that's why Tokar is, or Razor, whichever one he is. That's why he's a bad guy.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a snapping turtle and a Wolverine or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are like the bad guys,
Okay.
or those are the mindless mutant bad guy henchmen that we see. But yeah, so they break through the junkyard wall and they're in the middle of a Vanilla Ice concert.
Oh, don't they do some like dancing and shit?
Go turtle, go
yeah,
turtle, go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay.
And then the bad guy,
Got you.
Shredder, who's back from the dead, he gets covered in ooze and he becomes like a 20-foot
That's
shredder.
right.
And
Yeah.
this warehouse party is also, it's a warehouse by the docks. So they knock Shredder off a pier and they think he's done, and then his fist comes through the pier and he's like knocking all the boards off and destroying this harbor
With his slicey arm.
Yeah, he's destroying New York Harbor.
Yeah. While people are just dancing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a whole. I mean, but that movie is like the funniest one. That one's funnier than the first one.
Yeah.
It's more jokey. But the first one's better, but the second one I really like. You said your favorite one's the third one.
I think I just like the themed of the Tokyo kind of situation.
Well, it's not necessarily. Really fun. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it in forever, so I don't remember it being Tokyo. But it's time travel. That's the thing is
or not Tokyo, but like Japan.
Yeah, it's Japan. They time travel back to samurai fiefdom Japan.
Yeah,
I don't know how they. I don't remember how they time traveled. They probably took fucking. They probably took Ryan Reynolds' time jet. No, I don't know how they time travel back to.
I don't either, dude.
Japanese,
it's been so long.
Japanese fiefdoms or whatever from. So I'll rewatch that. All three of these are on HBO Max. I am going to rewatch all three.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because I love the first two. I remember not liking the third one, but I'll watch it again just to finish out the story.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do love these movies. I love the. In the second one, another funny joke. They're looking for a new home base. Their sewer home is like compromised, so they're looking for something new. And one of them, I think Michelangelo, finds an old abandoned subway station, but it's like beautiful. It's got huge chandeliers and stuff like that. And so it's this abandoned subway station that's like incredibly nice. And Donatello goes, when they finally are all looking at it together, Donatello goes, "Man, this is like what a subway in Connecticut would look like."
Yeah. New York.
Yeah. So and of course, they love pizza. They skateboard.
They skateboard. They love pizza. They do karate. Come on.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga, dude.
What are some of the other surfer for gnarly?
Yeah, they say radical.
Radical.
Yeah.
And then Donatello and the first goes, Frere Jacques.
Yeah.
Tubular. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. These are the funny, great, like, action comedies. Again, some of my favorite like memories from a kid is watching this movie a bunch.
It's pretty incredible that this movie even got made. Like when you think about when it got made, I mean, to be like originally just like a comic book, right? Like I don't know like the full history of it, but I mean, was there a cartoon? Maybe
there was
in the 80s, right?
I don't even know if it was the 80s. It might have been 90s also.
Really? Because
I don't know.
The first movie is 1990.
Yeah.
So like if this started the lore, like those are pretty like
well there was comic strips before it.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know when like the cartoon show started. I think the cartoon maybe came after because that gave us that gave us the evil monster Krang, which was a brain with like hand tentacles.
Is that from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He lived in the stomach. He had like had like a man, and he lived in like there was like a shelf in the stomach.
Yeah.
And Krang would pilot this like weird bald.
Oh, Krang is so weird.
Yeah, he's like a brain that lives in. It's like this dude has like a microwave in the middle of his stomach, kind of like a microwave would be built into your shelves at home, and that's where Krang lives in this dude's abs.
Oh, that's insane.
And
dude.
he controls them. He's like the brain Ratatouille. He's just controlling this guy
from the belly.
But instead of being on his head under the hat,
why wouldn't he be on his head?
Why wouldn't he be in the brain?
Yeah, that's true. Just you have the tech.
We clearly know what we're doing with brains. We might as well just do a brain.
Put it in there.
Be a brain transplant and put it inside a head.
Make it a bigger head.
But they just put him in the stomach and control a dude who also has a brain.
Yeah. Let me link up to your brain.
Well, I'm just gonna control you. I'm gonna put a joystick where your dick is and control
with my tentacle brain.
Yeah, I've got a one of my one of my brain stems is actually a tentacle that I can control your. So that was a weird cartoon, obviously, that brought us bebop and rocksteady, two music genres. Bebop, a type of jazz; rocksteady, a type of reggae.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which one was which. One of them was a warthog, and the other one was a.
The other one was, I don't remember.
Was it a rhino? Was it a rhino?
Oh, it was a rhino.
Was it a rhino and a warthog?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. One of them was Bebop. So that cartoon was a fun cartoon.
And they look cool.
I don't really remember anything about that cartoon.
I don't either.
I do remember the Nintendo video game.
I mean, I know the arcade game very well.
It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
The game for the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, that game was difficult.
Like too difficult?
Yeah, I mean for me, I could never get past like level 2. I just kept getting fucking killed.
Yeah. That was the suckiest thing about being a kid, like playing video games and you're like, what the fuck? This is hard. Like if you're too young to like understand it, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And then also stuff like, that's why I never got into Zelda until much later.
Mm-hmm.
The Legend of Zelda was hard. And also there was a way to save it, but I didn't know about it. And also, I don't think it worked on ours. So I was like, every time
restart it.
Yeah, every time I played it, I was playing it from the beginning, and just wandering around, didn't know where to go.
Yeah,
there was no internet.
Was that the 2D Zelda?
Oh yeah.
Oh, God, dude, that one was
the original. Yeah.
Yeah, I played that too.
Legend of Zelda, and then the Legend.
I never fucking understood that game.
Legend of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link.
Dude,
that was more of a side
was
scroller.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, it was so tough. And again, there was no internet at the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to look it up. The only way you could know anything about video games is if you had a Nintendo Power subscription.
Oh yeah,
which is I did for many years.
Or a book.
Shout out Mom and Dad for hooking me up with Nintendo Power
about the game.
Yeah, you have to buy
get
the
at GameStop or something like that.
Yeah, you have to buy, or at Babbage's, which was in my hometown. You have to buy the player's guide
to fucking play the game,
to learn what to do. Because you just don't,
I never figured out Zelda, dude, ever as a kid. I did play the shit out of some Donkey Kong Country 3, though. I fucking ruled at that game.
Yeah, I used to wreck Star Fox.
Hell yeah.
But that was, again, you're on a track. You're just shooting a bunch of bad guys till you get to the end. There's no, like...
Figuring it out.
There's no,
in
like,
a castle,
where do I go
or
from
like,
here?
Yeah, hidden shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
But it was a different time, the 90s. Better movies.
Definitely.
Look, the 90s, it's the peak of human existence. That's why The Matrix was
99,
built.
baby.
That's,
The Mummy.
When the machines built The Matrix, they set the time as 1999 because it's like it's the best these humans will ever get.
Yeah.
So we might as well let them live in their utopia.
Oh, they already made The Mummy. It's over.
Yeah, it's not getting better than this.
Yeah.
The time period between The Mummy and The Mummy 2, after The Mummy,
Dog shit. Yeah.
after The Mummy, before 9/11, best time in human history.
Yeah. Very specifically, yeah.
It's like an 18-month window, folks.
Yeah, that's true, man. God, we were living it up then.
I know. It doesn't get better. It's been all downhill. It's been all downhill since The Mummy 2 or 9/11, whichever one you want to think about.
I liked The Mummy 2, so I would say downhill post Mummy 2. Yes, I agree with that.
So what you're saying is like Scorpion King, 9/11, those are like the same.
Yeah, same event.
Those are the same level of...
And that's when, because then, if you think about it, then The Rock just starts getting way too many movies. At Scorpion King.
I know we've talked...
I know it's algorithmic, essentially, but like, guy's in too many movies.
I don't know. I know we've talked about last episode we all did together, which was the Nope episode you, me, and Clarence did. Although maybe it was the trailer trashed that Clarence and I did later that evening, but it must have been because I was talking about guys who at one point or another we think are going to be like, this guy's going to be the next star in Hollywood.
Yes.
And so obviously I've brought up, to me, obvious examples of guys that didn't reach their potential. John Hamm, Bryan Cranston, Idris Elba.
Yep.
They never became Tom Cruise. They never became like legitimate movie star status. They didn't have the good movies. They didn't do the great performances after they left TV or whatever. In my mind, and I know this is not backed up by the numbers, this is not backed up by like the finances, but in my mind, The Rock is the same kind of thing. Which I never like. I never watched wrestling as a kid. I didn't like it, but I was excited because when The Rock was making his transition to movies from wrestling, and I was excited for The Rock to be like the next action star.
Sure.
Because it was after we were already past Stallone and we're past Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah.
So this is like mid 2000s.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want an action star. I want a Arnold Schwarzenegger type action star.
Mm-hmm.
Just a dude who fucking gets it done, and he shoots guns and has muscles and just looks like an action star. And I don't know why. I've never seen a movie with The Rock that I thought was like good.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't like anything he's done. I don't think he's just... I don't know. And maybe it's impossible to recapture that magic of Arnold.
Yeah, that could be it. Also, I think there's some things happening in the 80s too, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of like new things in cinema that are happening because technology is developing, and like you're seeing like different types of sets and like sort of making household names a thing. Like it's just a different time. It's a special like time, I think, for movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, oh fuck, we can do lasers now. In a movie we can do.
Yeah.
I don't know, like like we can do fucking. I don't know. Just I imagine like sets were getting bigger, like budgets were getting bigger, like everything was just kind of growing, and like Maybe just it was a really good timing for that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Or now it's like we have all the tools. We can get the hot person. We can put a dragon in the movie. We can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. That's
do we have too many tools now? I don't know.
That's one thing I mean, that's another thing I don't like about a lot of our presumptive action stars, which actually, I mean, Stallone clearly agrees with me. That's why he made those Expendables movies.
Yeah.
Because he was tired of guys like Ryan Reynolds being action stars.
Really?
He's tired of guys, he's tired of Mark Wahlberg's being action stars. He's tired of, actually, Mark Wahlberg's actually not a good example of that because Mark Wahlberg's great. Yeah. But he's tired of, he doesn't want Brad Pitt being an action star. Sure. What's his name? Bourne Identity. Matt Damon. Why is Matt Damon a super spy action star? Matt Damon's he's a great actor.
Guy.
He's a great actor and a great writer, but he shouldn't be starring in action films. Stallone is like, we need dudes with muscles, so I'm going to get all 30 of us to be in a movie. Mm-hmm. Everybody gets $4,600. And it's going to be me, Terry Crews. I'm going to get Schwarzenegger in it for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm going to get, Dolph Lundgren.
Dude.
Van Damme. I'm going to get
Van Damme's in it.
I'm gonna get all the wash-ups,
shit.
And this is what an action movie's supposed to be. And they're not that good. The first one was okay. It looks a little cheap, but there's too much. Like I said, we were possibly talking about we might do an episode on the new Netflix release, The Gray Man.
Yep.
Ryan Gosling as the action star.
Chris Evans.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Just. The fact that now so much of it is superheroes, and because they have superpowers, they don't have to have muscles.
Sure. Or
at least they don't have to have fucking muscles. You don't have to respect their muscles like Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold and Stallone. I just watched I just rewatched the first 3 Rambos.
Yeah.
And then it's just Stallone. Rambo 3 kind of sucks, but Stallone is just he doesn't talk too much. He just lets his muscles do the talking.
Yeah.
And it's just that's what used to be required for action star. For somehow Stallone has more charisma as an action star in the 80s in Rambo than charming, funny Ryan Reynolds has in anything he's ever done.
Yeah.
Stallone says 8 words in fucking Rambo 1 or First Blood or First Blood 2. Stallone has fucking 12 total sentences, and he's
that's one of the words.
Yeah. He's more charismatic than
yeah, the energy of it all. Yeah.
Than people's sexiest man alive. The funny. With a million quotes around that word, Ryan Reynolds. So it's just. I don't know how we get back to that of making better action movies, or again, even shit like Ninja Turtles. How do we get back to? I don't know.
Yeah, right now we're in a quantity game because every streaming service is right. It's we just need to pump out material as much as possible, and we need to be doing it as frequently as other people are doing, if not more. So you get movies like fucking Adam Project,
Yeah,
okay.
But even the new Ninja Turtles, like Michael Bay Ninja Turtles, which I didn't watch, but I saw little bits and pieces of it. And again, after a few minutes, the Ninja Turtles, it's so tech heavy.
Yeah.
They're fighting robots. They're fighting like Transformers or some shit.
Yeah.
They have one fight at the beginning where they get to use their karate weapons. And then by the end, they're one of them has a drone, and then it's just they're not interested in. It's weird to call it. It's weird to say I want them to keep these films grounded because it's a talking teenage turtle who has a sword and loves pizza. I understand that that's not grounded in reality.
Yeah, there's a lot to
but
go
we
off
need
of
something.
There. Yeah. Well, just mean there's so much you can do. They do it really well in these older movies. Just using the simple tropes of the character, where it's like a Michael Bay film is just like visually just like stimulating, you know, something like Transformers. It's just like shit changing into other shit that doesn't exist, and you're just like
yeah, it's just vomiting like colors onto the screen, and you can't follow any of the transitions because it moves so fast. But it's not really about that. It's just about like it, so it looks terrible. But that's another reason why I love these old movies. Again, puppets and people in costumes.
Hell yeah.
The giant talking rat, Splinter, he's great. And he's sage, and he's like nice, and he you know, he doesn't so right now Splinter is chained up against the fence, and the bad guy Shredder is, you know, threatening him and figuring out what's going on. Splinter doesn't get out of this by breaking open the chain or whatever.
Yeah,
he gets out of it by
a superpower.
Yeah, he gets out of it by the young boy comes by, one of the kids who's like the boss's son,
one of the
Danny.
youths.
Danny, the boss's son, the kid that got arrested earlier, with the whole police chief subplot of like, get the news off my back or your kid goes to jail. That kid, his redemption is he feels bad for this rat that's chained up, and he goes and like talks to him, and then the rat like just listens to him and kind of gives him an ear and talks to him and kind of explains to him that, like, you know, I know you disagree with your father at this point, but he is looking out for your best interest, and do you think these people that you've aligned yourself, do you think they're looking out for your best interest? And he gives this really good life lesson, and the boy of his own accord releases Splinter.
Nice.
Because he has that, he redeems himself. He's like, you're right. I don't think these people that are these hedonists that are committing crimes and stealing and just only looking out for themselves, I don't think they care about me. And so I want to do something good, and I want to really. It's
got a human quality to it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Probably that might be it.
It's tough to call it a real moment, since he's talking to a giant rat in a karate outfit.
But it makes it relatable. Or understandable.
If you close your eyes and listen to it,
sure.
It's a more human. It's the exact, again, it's the kind of guidance. That's what is missing in these kids' lives. That's why they're seeking out these. That's why they're seeking out these criminal organizations. That's why they're seeking out these
gambling nooks.
Yeah, that's why they're looking for cigarettes and video games, and they're looking to get away.
Shit.
They need all they need is a parental figure, or they need a guiding figure in their life to kind of reach out toward them, to them, and obviously have their best interest at heart and stuff like that. Who knows? Again, most of these kids probably come from bad families or maybe broken homes. Which is, again, that's real life. That's who's most likely to get in trouble. A troubled youth is coming from maybe a bad home life or something like that.
Yep.
And just having somebody that shows some actual compassion towards them, even if they're a giant rat chained to a chain link fence, the humanity is still there. So I think this movie is more heartfelt than a lot of other than most comic book properties could ever get.
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's interesting, man. I mean, in a way, like, comic books were used to like teach kids about lessons and being a good kid in a way, or like I guess when I think about it from like a maybe that kind of point of view too, where it's like movies now, nobody's learning anything about anything or how to treat people or like how to be a human or how to, like, that's not a thing.
Right.
There's no message.
Certainly,
it's just,
certainly not from a Marvel movie.
Yeah, there's
like,
no like, oh wow,
Captain Marvel is
moments.
The message in Captain Marvel is, don't let yourself be kidnapped and brainwashed by aliens.
Yeah,
like,
by shapeshifters.
Yeah, it's like that's not a problem for any of us.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not like, those old Superman cartoons, which again, maybe you don't need. I don't think you need this message from Superman.
Maybe not.
Superman cartoons used to be, he would be like, he would give a stern talking to kids that were being mean to Asian kids. He's like, He's like, we're all
Yeah, that's
Americans.
real.
We're all I know.
Yeah.
It was like we're all Americans here, and we got to treat everybody nicely. I don't know. Maybe that's simplistic. I didn't need Superman to tell me not to be mean to Asian kids. I just was nice.
Yeah.
But some people needed Superman for it.
Yeah.
Some people needed this kid Danny. He needed Splinter to
listen.
To give him some guidance, let him realize it. Anyway, we don't typically do recommendations on our In the Can episodes because they're classic movies
that we want to talk
movies,
about.
Yeah, they're movies that we love from a time being, but I love these movies and I can't recommend them highly enough.
Yeah, definitely recommend these movies for sure.
At least the first two. I'm gonna rewatch the third one and see if it catches. If it redeems itself in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm curious, man. I'm curious of the flow. I definitely want to rewatch them and just like how they kind of mesh together too would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, folks, for watching another In the Can episode of Let's Get Trashed. Jimmy, where can if the people want to see more Jimmy D, how do they do
more
that?
of me? Sleepy Cowboy TX is my Instagram, and you can find everything there.
Very cool. And once again, I'm your host at Nick Tazo on Twitter, at Nick Tazo Drums on Instagram. Give me a follow. Like, subscribe, please leave a comment. The more comments, the better. If you're watching this and you want to tell me something personally, don't text me.
Just comment.
Comment. Whatever you want to say about it, comment.
Whatever you want to say about me.
And this especially applies to my mom and dad. They love to text me and ask me questions and talk about that stuff, and I love hearing from you. But do me a favor and leave a comment instead, and eventually I'll see it.
You want to hang out later? Leave a comment.
Yeah.
You trying to meet up?
If you're trying to...
You want to grab a drink? You want to see a movie?
If you're trying to slide in these DMs...
Don't.
Leave a comment. All right? Put your money where your mouth is. Do it out in public.
Do it. Put it out there.
Don't secretly slide into my DMs if you want to get to know me better. Leave a comment. Let everybody know where your head's at.
Comment only.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, folks. Let's get trashed. In the Can. Oh yeah, I gotta make sure I do my In the Can
Your tagline.
Yeah, that'll be there. That'll be at the top. Don't worry about it. All right. Thanks. Bye, everybody.